medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. I want to welcome you to Friday's edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. We have a beautiful snowy day here in Toronto. It is Friday, December the 24th. I want to wish everybody a happy, joy-filled holiday season because it is bringing in a lot of change. There is going to be so much new energy coming into the planet over the next 5 days. So get ready for it. Today, we're going to be communicating with a group called, well, there's two beings actually. One is Ra and one is Horus, and it's called Turn to the Quantum Field. When they were talking to me about it this morning, there's a distinction between, God and the quantum field is very, very thin. God is the awareness that directs the quantum field. God is the awareness that directs the quantum field. And when I asked them, what's the quantum field? They said, everything. Everything is the quantum field. What science calls energy and what religion calls God are one and the same thing. The ability to make the distinction between yourself as a body and mind and a soul allows you and affords you the opportunity to begin to become a director of the quantum field. You are, whether you know it or not. Every single soul in all of creation, every individualized awareness, and they're very specific about this, every individualized awareness is able to direct the quantum field to various degrees. There seems to be a dichotomy, a confusion around awareness and the idea of matter, as they are often perceived as two very separate things when they are not. The goal you need to establish for yourself is recognizing that you and the field are the same thing. That which you would say is your God is that which is all things. And you are not separate from it, except by perception. Those of us that are able to align our awareness individually in recognition of our, and we'll use this word very carefully, but it is the truth, in recognition of our authority over energy, over our being, we affect great change in this world, as few can. Very few of you are able to make that distinction between your awareness and all else, and the relationship between the two as one that is not based in separation. They're saying that there's a schism between your senses and your intelligence, in that your intelligence is often relegated to your senses, and your senses are often placed in a position of authority they cannot possibly sustain or maintain. Your senses individually are very divisive. They divide you from yourself, from the field. When you recognize the equality of all things in the field, when you recognize the equality of all things in the field from the perspective of your awareness, you're free. You'll find freedom when you recognize that place, that perspective of being. The concept of worship was not intended to be that which was to represent or be relevant to specific individuals as being deities. What you call the gods, both old and new, were simply individuals that had come to the understanding of their awareness and its relationship to all else, the effects that could be set in motion through intentional creation. The creation story that you have heard is very true in many respects, in that there is an individual awareness that is conscious of itself and its relationship as how it affects all other things. Literally, this awareness, once recognition of itself, is able to induce and change conditions of time, space, and matter in ways that your imagination cannot be restricted from considering. In other words, you are free to fully articulate a manifestation of experience from the perspective of individualized awareness in full consciousness of its relationship to all matter, to produce anything you choose, to manifest anything you desire, if you understand the perspective of your awareness and the quantum field. You are that consciousness that began in the beginning, that spoke and said, "Let there be light." But you cannot know this when you are divided into your senses. And there would seem to be a contradiction here between that which is experiencing what you call life and that which is creating what you call life. There is only a division here because one is not in recognition of the other. One is not in alignment to the other. From the perspective of your awareness, you can begin to find freedom. From the perspective of awareness, you can begin to find freedom. Awareness necessitates a non-divisive level of perception. In other words, from awareness, you can be aware of body. You can be aware of thought. You can be aware of matter. You can be aware of others, but it does not necessitate separation from them. You recognize your relationship to all things, and therefore you understand how to be, how to do, what to think, where to go. You move in knowing rather than weighing or measuring and analyzing. You move into an expression of knowing. And so you may go through life in great joy, knowing you are the cause and effect of your experiences. Yeah, there's a process. It's how do you get out of this separateness? And they said to me, you are never in separateness, and only from the perspective of awareness can you come to an understanding of that. About 4 nights ago, I was given something to do before I put the body to rest. And it was a very simple thing. They said to take your awareness down to the level at which matter begins to become visible. What we would call in science the smallest of small particles. Again, I don't know what the names of them, but they're very small. I mean, I've heard of terms like quarks and muons, but these are particles, they call them transitory, transitional particles, where it goes from what appears to be invisible to visible, from non-matter to matter. They said, move your awareness to that place just before, and where matter is beginning to become matter, very small particles, and bring your awareness there into any state that you wish to experience. And if you can hold your awareness in that state that you wish to experience at the most the primary level, where matter is just becoming matter, is coming from the invisible to the visible realm. They're saying we do this all the time. In the process of going to awakening in the morning, when your body wakes up, you go through a process of being non-matter to becoming matter again. You are not defined exclusively by matter. Matter is defined exclusively by you. So they had me go into this place and they said, move into the state of being that you want the molecules of your body to express as. Move into the vibrational state of what you want the molecules of your body to express as. And I asked them, I said, what sort of state? They said, well, go into a state of vibrational energy of joy, and be in that state of joy as you let your awareness expand into that space at the very point where the cells in your body, the DNA, are just becoming matter. This is the only way I can describe this is you're literally in a state of awareness, and suddenly you become aware that there is space, and then there is imagine This is the best way. If you look out through a window and sunlight is coming through and there's dust in the air, and you see the light coming through the dust, those little dust particles are, think of that space that's between them. They haven't formed, they're there, they're moving around through space. You can see them moving in the sunlight or the light coming through your windows, and you're looking at that. They haven't formed, they've just come into, they're in an existence. They're saying this is a very crude way to try and describe what they've explained to me, but it will suffice. There's a process of organization that your awareness can assert even over those particles of dust. You can actually assert an order over those particles of dust with your awareness. So they had me go into this place where I went into a state of real joy as I'm lying, and I'm allowing my awareness to impart. Again, I'm trying to describe something that has to be experienced to really be understood, but it's like you're lying in bed, your eyes are closed, you're aware, and your awareness becomes aware of literally every molecule of the body, and you're aware of every molecule in the body. And as you're aware of every molecule in the body, you give it a vibration. You can give it a vibration from your awareness of joy, of excitement, of vitality, of playfulness, of excitement, of fun. You can begin to comprehend that energy, what that energy is, and impart it with your awareness to literally every molecule of the body, whether it's the subatomic particles of the liver or the brain or the spine. They said once you move your awareness into that place where you're able to bridge the gap between the physical and the non-physical, you're now working with what they call the quantum field. The quantum field is all else that responds to your awareness. Your awareness is the divine. Your awareness is the divine. That cannot be comprehended in terms of the name that you think you have. The labels, unfortunately, get in the way of the understanding. So if you remove the term God or you remove the term energy and you go into the experience of either, you'll discover that they're identical. And those of us that are considered gods are those that simply understand the relationship of our awareness to all matter. We were able to perform natural phenomena of our consciousness, which for those that did not understand would appear as miracles. Miracles are natural phenomena of the way in which you interact with your consciousness in relation to all else. The qualities that you choose to embody originate from what you have decided as a conscious awareness, independent of matter, but fully interactive with it. Again, your comprehension of what we're saying will be inhibited because your experience may be lacking, not because you are lacking, but your experience may be lacking. We have often come and brought others the concept of instruction, such as meditation, being still, keeping your awareness active and alive, and your mind silent. When you are able to function independent of the definition that the world has formulated for you, you come to a place of freedom and liberation. So this quantum field, or God, says to all of us, ask and you shall receive. It's really simple. Master Jesus talks about that quite often. Ask and ye shall receive. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Allison. Hi, Ryan. Yeah, this place of awareness, that is not definable in terms of who you think you are, but is recognizable in terms of what you are as a being. That is what you would call the God self, that is able to function and remain aware, independent of the influences of matter. For the influences of matter then become self-defined. In other words, you, as a divine entity, are able to influence and affect matter, time, and space very, very fluidly when you are not, we'll use the term fragmented, made small, So I'm asking a question I'm asking them right now is if if our awareness is that God self, and that from that perspective of awareness we can affect all matter, if that is the case, and yet, so I'm asking if that's the case, then how can we be in separation? How can we think we are separate in a body? Like I'm somehow separate from everything. How can we do that? And they said it's a matter of choice. You can be a part of yourself, or you can be the whole of yourself. The part of yourself affords you the opportunity to experience yourself in a different degree, but it does not necessitate the diminishment of who you are. It simply moves you to a different aspect of what you already are. Yeah, so I'm struggling because the conceptions, because what they're saying and how it feels and what I know are very different by degree, because there seems to be a dichotomy here for me. And they're saying there's no dichotomy when you recognize you are both the cause and effect of yourself. You are both the cause and effect of yourself. Cool. Anyway, it's going to be a shorter version today just because we got Christmas Eve here, and we had our beautiful 1:30 a.m. snowfall. Norma and I were out throwing snowballs around Norma and I and a friend were out throwing snowballs at 1:30 in the morning because it was a beautiful snowstorm here in Toronto. And it's going to be an amazing 5 days, folks. The next 5 days are going to be really incredible. So, yes, higher energies are going to be coming in for those in the light worker community that are struggling with lower vibrational energies. Move your attention to the space just above the top of your head. Put in your meditation, move your awareness just to above the top of your head and be there in the next few days. You'll find it'll take you out of the denser energies that are altering biology right now. There's huge dense energies coming in to lift our ascension consciousness up. But meditate from that perspective up here. It'll be a lot of fun. I want to go over a couple notes. So next Monday, I got a group coming in called the High Council of the Stars that was requested by one of our viewers. And they're coming in on Monday, December the 27th, and they're going to be talking beyond your body, a higher self. And it's interesting that these themes about God and the higher self are coming up right now because Ascension is about that, recognizing that you are, so they're just saying that recognizing that you are God's and know it not, that you are divine entity. From the perspective of biology, you are quite divine when you realize the nature of what you are. So anyway, the High Council of the Stars will be coming in on Monday. I'm excited because I've never experienced them before, except briefly when they touched and gave me this information. Next Wednesday, December the 29th, there's a group that's calling themselves The Silence. They're calling themselves The Silence, and it's called Lose Yourself, Find Yourself. And that's next Wednesday, December the 29th. Next Friday, December the 31st, the Ascended will be coming in, letting go of the past or false ideas, which is the realm of new forgiveness. That's going to be next week on Friday, December the 31st, which is New Year's Eve. It'll be the last show of this year. Also, I just want to remind everybody, for students that have already taken the Mediumship 103 program, our 103 program commences on January the 8th. On Saturday, January the 8th, we start our orientation with the 103, and I'm happy to announce towards the latter part of January, we will be releasing our first 104 program, Mediumship 104 program, which is going to be called Transcendence. And I'm looking forward to you coming and joining us for that. It will be an advanced program for students that have taken the 101, the 102, or the 103. They can come and take the 104 program. And again, I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. I want to thank you all so much. If there's not any questions, you can take one question. Yes, thank you so much. I want to wish all of you, like all my Patreon supporters, YouTube channel subscribers, thank you so much for supporting this channel. You know, every month we donate proceeds from both our Patreon and our YouTube channel that go to our Underground Railroad, which is a group that rescues abused children and children imprisoned in the sex slave trade. They go around the world. They literally rescue these children from groups and organizations that are literally stealing these children from their homes and their families, and they rescue them back. So know that whenever you donate or you use a super chat on this channel, you're supporting that cause as well, our Underground Railroad. And I encourage you, if you can, go out and support them. It's a beautiful organization run by some wonderful people. And again, I'll put a link to it in the description box below this, but please support them. I want to wish you all a much wonderful, a joyful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye for now, everybody. Much love.